What's up, Poisonberry?
What's up, Lydia Dietz?
Ooh, Lydia. I know I was wondering if you noticed when you came over yesterday, I put on purple eyeshadow and I never wear purple and I kind of like it.
So you're going for a Beetlejuice thing?
Kinda.
Did you watch the trailer for the new Wednesday Addams movie?
I did. I don't know. I don't know. I had very mixed emotions about it. Either I'm gonna love it or I'm gonna fucking hate it.
I had the same feeling. And then I also thought to myself, too, because there's a part in the trailer where she smashes a spider.
No, she would never do that.
That's what I was like. I hope that spider is not real or it's a magical thing, because Wednesday Addams is not smashing a spider.
No. And it's a series, it's not a movie. But it looked too something like Willy Wonka. It looked like too bright, too young. Something, I don't know. It was the vibe was off for me, and I'm like, I'm gonna have to see more of this, and I don't know if I hate it. It didn't look Tim Burton-y either. It looked like Mean Girls.
It's one of those things like with Rob Zombie remaking The Munsters, and that looks terrible to me. And I wasn't excited about this Wednesday Addams trailer. I really feel like when you have these properties that are really well known, just make new ones.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just make a new show about a creepy goth girl and her creepy goth parents.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Right? And then you don't have to worry about people like saying this is the best or worst Addams Family thing they did. This is the worst. Like, make a television show, another television show where there's a Dracula for a father and the grandfather is a Frankenstein, and like mix up the monsters and do a show called The Monsters and just like have a monster family.
Yeah, then you don't offend those like purists. It can just be like a thing a new thing.
Yeah.
There was some horror movie that came out not that long ago. Or I know what happened with Suspiria, where the new Suspiria isn't even that much like the old one. It's like, why the fuck did you even have to call it Suspiria? Call it something else.
Oh, and so it begins.
That's no, that's not the really loud one. Is it? No, it's not. That's the pig from TJ Maxx. I know. I hear it. I know, Bubba. Okay, you gotta go put that over there. He's gonna come back.
Yeah, I don't know why people don't just make a new thing.
Yeah. Even the Wrong Turn movie that we were gassing up last week, I'm gonna take that. Sorry, buddy. It had like bad reviews because people were like, it's not even like the other Wrong Turns, and we're like, fucking exactly. Could they have just called it something else?
They could have, and it would have been just as good.
Yeah, it should have been just like Woods, something about the woods. I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Creepy Woods.
Creepywoods.org.
Do you remember when everything was .org or .com?
Yes. I'm ready to bring that back into the vernacular. I love it.
One of my favorite things when I'm watching like Tubi or Pluto TV is there's this era of television where every show ends with you being given an address to visit their Facebook or MySpace page.
Oh my God. There's an episode of 90210 where they throw a party at the fucking club because Donna got a website. I'm not even kidding. She is a fashion designer. So they were like, oh my God, she's like the first person to like try and sell things online.
That's funny.
I know they had a countdown at midnight like it was New Year's Eve, and then her website went live and then the whole crowd cheered.
I think that's so silly, but at the same time, I think I was the first candidate in Michigan to have a website.
I bet you were.
I think I was. I think I remember that being a really big deal. Like people could donate and go to a website. Like people didn't even know I had votetenny.com and people didn't even know. They thought that was my email address.
Oh God. Oh
like,
God. Yeah, they didn't even know where to put it.
Yeah, they didn't know where to type it.
Like, should I page somebody with this?
So I dial vote Tenny on my rotary phone.
Yes. That's so funny. Oh boy. So this is really funny. I thought of it earlier how it was going to go on here, and then in my head it went worse than I even thought. I have a wooden porch, right? And over the last 2 days, bees have decided to go in this little hole on my porch, and they're honeybees, and me and you don't kill things. And I'm like, well, we have to get them to leave. So you said you would make a mixture of smells of stuff that they don't like. So I was thinking earlier, I'm like, how am I going to tell a story? And then I was like, I'm going to get on the podcast and go, Tenny had to come over and spray something in my bee hole. So
I snuck over your house and sprayed my stuff in your bee hole.
It's so bad. I like this is so stupid. So they're still going in there.
I knew that they would still be going in there.
God damn it. I really thought it was gonna work. But I'm gonna
It is
spray
gonna
more.
work.
I just have to keep doing it.
Yes.
Okay.
There'll be less as they move away, as they take the workers go. I mean, the big thing is you got to, if there's a queen in there, she's the one that's got to make the decision to leave.
Right. That's what I was thinking. The ones that I saw coming back today were maybe going in there and being like, no, we can't stay here anymore.
Right.
I'll do it again. So Tenny is my beekeeper. And then I was driving home from work and I saw you on my security camera and I'm like, hey, beekeeper, do you want a Slurpee? Then I brought a Slurpees. It was fun.
It was fun.
And then you talked to me about kitchen nightmares for like an hour.
I forgot how much I love that show.
I can't. The fucking hot tip in that conversation was that tell them about the website. I feel like that's really useful information.
Yeah, there's a website that I found that for every single episode of Kitchen Nightmares, United States and England tells you if the restaurant is still open or if it's closed, and 99% of them have closed.
Oh, whoever made that is doing the Lord's work, because there should be a website like that of every reality show and how the updates of everything.
It was amazing to me that I was like, because when I first found that website, I was like, the episode had aired, I think in like 2012, the episode had aired. And I was like, oh shit, this is 10 years later. They're talking about this place closing. And it was like, oh, it closed in 2015. So it was only open for 3 more years. But then I was watching an episode of Kitchen Nightmares that was on in like 2004. And I'm like, there's no way anyone kept up with this. And it's closed, but that website has it. And it's like, it closed 2 years after Gordon Ramsay was there. It turned into this restaurant. And that website links to, like, if the restaurant was bought and changed names and bought owners and stuff like that, it links to like current Yelp reviews.
Dang, they did so much work.
They did, but it looks like a website that was built that you would celebrate on 90210.
Yes, like it's just like a list.
Yes.
There's, on my road trip planning, one of my favorite websites to look at is just called roadsideattractions.com, and it's the shittiest website, and it's just a list, and you click on it and it tells you where it is. But it's great because I don't have to click through a bunch of bullshit. It's just a list. That's all I want.
Here's the thing. People who gather good information usually don't have great design skills. They're good at gathering information. So
Yeah.
the websites look terrible, but the information is exactly what you need.
Yeah, it's perfect. I'll like go from there, and if I see something I want to see, I'll go to a better website and see if there's like more pictures and information. But on there, at least I get like my starting point, you know?
The worst of all websites are cooking websites.
Oh, I know.
Because I will say, like, I'll type in how to make vegan Alfredo sauce or something like that. And it's like quick, easy vegan Alfredo sauce. And I click on the link and it literally starts, it says, when I went fishing with my dad when I was 12. And I'm like, get the fuck out of here.
Right? You have to click like, or scroll like 75% of the way down to find the fucking,
Yes.
like at least put the recipe at the top and then put that shit at the bottom. Like if I give a fuck, I'll go find that. Oh, geez. I went to my nephew's first birthday party on Saturday, and my whole family was there, and it was really cute. And it was Spider-Man themed. And I found out my grandma's so cute and small, and she was telling a story, and she said that back when it was a hot fucking song, my brother he's always changed her ringtones to the most ridiculous fucking songs ever. So he changed her ringtone to I'm Sexy and I Know It, and then it went off when she was literally in court. Full blast. She was there, I guess, with my uncle or some shit, and it went off in court, and she was like, I don't fucking know how to turn this off. I guess she was all red, and somebody had to help her turn it off.
That's funny.
I know, I loved it. It was worth going to the party. The party was cute, though. They had cake, they had balloons, I don't know, it was cute.
And it had baby.
It had a baby. I know, it had a little baby. He got a fucking golf cart from my dad, and he's won.
I'm out on babies.
I know, I can't. He's so cute, but like I don't know how to like interact with him until he's like can skateboard.
I think I may be wrong about this, but I think I told my sister like I wouldn't babysit for my nephew Miles until he could go to the bathroom by himself.
Yeah, 100%. That's like my thing too. I don't know how to change the diaper. I don't know how to do that. I just want them to like I could read them a book. I could take them outside, but like I can't do this shit. I don't know what I'm
If
doing.
this creature cannot hold its head up, I cannot be around it.
No, I don't know how to hold things. And like if it cries, I'll be like, oh God, I don't know what to do.
Listen, I've been lanky most of my life. I trip down steps, I hit my shoulders on door frames, I smack my head on ceilings, I walk into bookshelves. I'm a klutz. I cannot be trusted with a no bones baby. Like with just a lumpy jelly bag that cries and poops. I can't do it.
You don't trip over the baby.
Lumpy jelly bag.
You're ridiculous. They are though. They're like head goes back. Wild stuff. But it was cute. What did you do? Did you do anything this weekend?
Nope, I didn't do anything.
Didn't do nothing.
I mowed my lawn. That's about it.
I mowed my lawn on Sunday too.
And then today I made ink.
Oh yeah, out of poison berries. That's why I called you poisonberry.
Pokeberry.
But they're poisonous, right?
Yes, they are toxic. Do not eat. As a matter of fact, someone else on Twitter was like, aren't they called this? We have them in my back. And I was like, no, those are different berries. These are poison. Those ones you can, in your backyard, you can eat, called chokeberries, which is weird that chokeberries are edible and pokeberries are poisonous.
Yeah, I don't have any of those, I don't think. I hope not.
What's funny is I have been trying to grow, pokeberries are very invasive and they will grow like weeds and most people cut them down. I have been trying to grow them in my backyard for so long and they can get up to 20 feet tall. They usually don't because people cut them down and stuff. But the ones in my backyard now are like 12 feet tall. They're so big. They look like monster prehistoric Jurassic Park plants.
Are they behind the garage?
Yeah.
What if birds eat them?
They're not toxic to birds and some animals.
They're not?
Nope, deer can eat them, raccoons can eat them, birds can eat them, just not cats and dogs, and of course, humans.
That don't make no sense.
I know we're that creature. We got that one fucked up thing where the berry was like, nope, they're no good. People are no good.
I wonder if people ever fucking did some Forensic Files type shit with that. Like, oh, made you a pie, honey, bonk.
I think you can eat them, but they're going to be toxic. They're going to kill you if you eat too many of them. I think that's on most plants. Most plants, you can eat a little bit of it and it'll make you sick, but you got to eat a lot of it to get it to poison you, except for some of the nightshades and stuff. Those will kill you right away.
Mm-hmm. These are hot tips for the audience, I feel like.
Hot tips.
I think I discovered it right after we recorded the last episode, but I binged this new fucking ridiculous reality show called Cosmic Love.
We did talk about it a little bit. I think we did. Where the big orb talks to people. I think you mentioned it on the last podcast.
I think I just tweeted about it.
Oh, maybe you did.
Yeah, but anyway, it's a dating show on Amazon Prime Video, and it's for people being matched on their astrology, but then there's like other people on the episode, like in the group, that like don't match your astrology, and you're trying to figure out if you end up with somebody you're right for or whatever the fuck. And then the show doesn't have a host. It has a giant fucking talking crystal ball in a room with stars in it. It looks like an 80s movie. It doesn't even make any sense. It's like a big inanimate ball, and the people go in the room, and then the ball tells them stuff about themselves and stuff about the person that they've been hanging out with. Like, this is why y'all get along. This is why y'all don't get along. Maybe you should try this, in this weird voice. And then they leave and go back to the dating. It's so fucking weird.
I made it through one episode and never went back.
I know. I figured since you hadn't said anything about it that you didn't finish it, but I'm glad you watched some of it because it's fucking unhinged.
It's bizarre.
I know.
I didn't watch it solely for the fact of I think it's edited really badly.
Yeah, right? Something's not clicking for me with it. It's too long. It needs to be like 6 episodes, not 10, first of all.
I don't know. That whole, I don't know. Plus, I wasn't in, the 4 people they picked, I had no interest in whatsoever.
I swear I said that same thing. I'm like, I kind of like this format and I'm into how weird it is, but I'm interested to see a different cast. Like, I hope it gets one more season at least so I can see different people.
That show needs... Because in the beginning, they're talking about the one guy doesn't believe in astrology and the one guy really doesn't know, he knows his sign, and the one girl is really into astrology and the other girl, whatever. And I was like, no. I was like, this show needs to be people who fucking believe in astrology and UFOs and ghosts and monsters. This whole show would be so much better if it was nothing but weirdos like us being controlled by a giant orb trying to make them get married. It could be so much more fun.
And it was a little too, and this is crazy to say because it's the point of the whole fucking show, and I'm really into astrology. I felt like it was too heavy on the astrology.
Yeah.
Like, just let them fucking date. Like, either do this at the beginning of the show or at the end of the show. But like, they would stand in front of that wall and get their reading for so long. I'm like, bro, like, people aren't gonna sit here and listen to this. Like, they
Right.
want to see them actually putting this stuff into motion. They can't go in that room fucking 5 times an episode.
Yeah.
It was just a lot, but I still like it. And get this, our Patreon, Emily Hoffman, she told me last night that the voice of the fucking ball in the Astro Chamber is Susie from the Rugrats.
What?
I was like blown away because, okay, the astrology on the show is done by these ladies on Instagram and Twitter called the Astro Twins. So I assumed like the voice was just like one of them putting on a voice. I didn't know they were going to get fucking a Rugrat.
That's interesting that they would cast it that way.
Yeah, cast the ball. It was a good voice though, honestly, but it was a weird show.
It's interesting though, because, you know, voice actors and having the right voiceover can destroy something sometimes.
Yeah, it was a little corny.
Like when we were filming Ghost Stalkers and I first saw the first rough cut episode that I had to do voiceovers for, Ghost Stalkers had a narrator.
Ooh.
Like, I don't know if people remember, but like the first few seasons of Ghost Hunters, Mike Rowe narrated it
The guy from the Jobs show?
from Dirty Jobs.
Yeah.
People don't remember it. It's like Grant and Jason have been friends for blah, 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 blah. And like, then it would cut back to them talking. And Ghost Stalkers was like that too, except they gave us this guy, our narrator. And I was like, oh no, you can't do this. They gave us this narrator who had like a heavy Southern drawl.
No!
And he was like, Joan and Chad are going down too. And I was like, no, this is not going to happen on my show at all. You have like Chad growing up in like Washington State and mostly Los Angeles, and me, super Midwest, nasally Detroit man. And our narrator is like, they're going into this place for the very first time. And I was like,
Oh
no.
my God. No, and that's like insulting too, because A, you're like a fucking professional public speaker, and we get so many comments and messages about like Tenny should fucking narrate audiobooks and Tenny should do this. Like, imagine them like cutting you out of doing the voiceovers. Like, bad decisions in history.
There were a lot of bad decisions on Ghost Stalkers.
Oh my God, I like that show.
I still feel like we got super ripped off on that show. I feel like Ghost Stalkers never came back because of how much money the production spent on our show, and then just like spent it on themselves.
Yeah.
Like when I found out how much it cost to make an episode of Ghost Stalkers compared to like what I and Chad were being paid, I was like, where is this money going?
Yeah, because you didn't even, y'all went into the buildings by yourself, so you didn't have camera people, and you like drove. It's not like you had flights.
Well, we did fly.
Oh.
The drive ups were all fake.
Oh, my bad. I thought you did drive.
Well, we had to drive from where we picked up the rental RV to the location, but
Was it different RVs?
every single time.
I didn't even notice.
Yeah, different RV every single time. As a matter of fact, there was one episode of Ghost Stalkers where I didn't say a key piece of information. We missed it until like the final rough cut, that like a week before it aired, and we needed me to be on camera saying what I said, and we didn't have it. But Chad and I were appearing at Scarefest that weekend, the weekend before the episode aired. And so they rented an RV, parked it in the parking lot of the Scarefest convention, showed me what I was wearing in the episode, showed Chad what he was wearing in the episode. We brought our clothes to Kentucky, went in the RV. I literally said a sentence, and then they cut that into the show.
Well, maybe that's why they had budget problems. You could have just stood outside somewhere and said that. That's wild. You could have just been like in front of a tree.
Yeah.
That's funny.
And I think because I had most of my hair then, I think that my hair, like, there's one scene where you just see in that episode, like, my hair goes like ping pong, like it's totally not the right cut.
Continuity
Error.
You know what's crazy too? I was going to tell you about this, like, speaking of like what shows pay and spend and how it's bullshit. I got an email. You know, okay, for those who maybe haven't listened to us from the first episode, my last dog, Bean, who passed last year, I took all the steps to have him cloned. So his DNA is on ice in Texas still. Should I want to clone him, or should I find that money someday to clone him? So the company's called Viagen. And I got an email from them the other day saying like, yo, we've been contacted by a couple different networks about doing shows about people going through the journey, which is like my dream. Like, I shot video all through what I went through with him. Like when I got home from his fucking lung cancer diagnosis, I filmed myself when I fucking that day I found out. So I have some gnarly fucking footage. So I'm like, great. And then I'm reading along, and they said the two networks specifically were Netflix and Discovery, I think. And so then it goes along and it's like, if you would want to participate, blah, blah, blah. And in my head, I'm like, yeah, I would. And the cloning process, and I've said this all along, I'm like, all I would want for doing it, I wouldn't want to make anything over and above, but the cloning costs $50K. So I would just want the $50K and get my fucking dog. Like, y'all can keep the rest. I don't fucking care. So that's what I'm thinking, like especially a company like Netflix. Anyway, so I get further in the email and it says,
I already know.
well, at least some of it, but I get further in the email and they're like, if you're chosen, if you want to go through with it, they'll cover 10K and then you have to pay the rest of the 40. And I'm like, 10 fucking K, Netflix? And you want to film me crying for weeks?
Yeah.
No. Isn't that wild?
People do not understand.
No, that pissed me off. I'm like, no, actually, I can make my own shit. Thank you very much.
I know people who work on television shows that are watched, not just paranormal shows, but other reality type shows, who are on camera and make like $500 to $4,000 per episode.
Yeah, that's fucking stupid.
So, I mean, if they're doing like 10 or 12 episodes a year, that's between $5,000 to $40,000 a year before taxes.
And most of those shows now have like 6 people. Like, you can't come up with more than that for like the tiny ass cast. Like, what other people would be in the doc with me? Like, let's say they follow 3 families. It's like, you can't come up with 150K.
Yeah.
That's fucking shitty. Yeah, I was pissed.
That's why a lot of these shows too, that's why you have to remember, like, once a show really starts rolling, like Kitchen Nightmare, since we talked about it, I can use it as an example. Like Gordon Ramsay would redo all of the kitchens and stuff.
Yeah, in the dining room sometimes.
But all that shit would get donated by a company who would get credit. Like he would say, we have a new point of sale system provided to us by such and such company. Or he'd say, like, I brought you all new $65,000 worth of ovens from fireware.com.
Well, that's what they should do for this show then, and be like, get it donated by dog food brands and like fucking dog insurance brands and shit like that. Like, they could do that in a heartbeat. I could probably fucking do that myself.
Yeah, you could probably.
I probably could. Maybe this is what I'm gonna do. Fuck it. Toad and Bean 2.0. Are you fucking joking? The world would explode. It's the cutest thing that ever happened in life.
And just be fucking squeak toys and snores and farts until the world blows up.
It would be impossible to fucking film this podcast.
Oh my
I would have to leave my home. But yeah, this doesn't have anything to do with anything, but it's a callback to our last episode. You remember how I told you I'm gonna drive to Alaska, right?
Yeah.
So what I realized is, remember back in the Disney, I don't fucking remember how many episodes ago, a lot, when I told you about the fucking dead toe shot that you do in the Yukon?
Yeah, of course.
I'm gonna go there.
Yeah, I should hope you would. You've talked about drinking the dead toe.
Yes, it's right outside of Alaska. I do have to go out of my way, but I'm gonna go. And yeah, I'm gonna do a shot with a dead fucking toe in it.
Did you say back in the Disney?
Yeah, I did.
Oof.
Sorry. What if I already said .org when I was talking? This is a throwback up. But yeah, I'm gonna do the toe shot. It's gonna be so good. Not the shot, but the experience. The shot is gonna be very bad. Oh, I was looking at it. I was looking at it on the website and they're so fucking gross. It has to touch your mouth. It has to touch your mouth or you don't pass. You don't get your certificate.
Hashtag dead toe. Do people still say hashtag stuff?
Well, we're just bringing everything back on this episode. So yes, they do. And one of our listeners, Patreons, I think I remember who it was, but I don't want to say because if I'm wrong, I'll feel stupid. But somebody DM'd me and said that their cousin runs like a beluga fucking watchers group or some shit in Alaska, and they said I can help and they gather on the shore and look for belugas with like binoculars. I'm like, I'll do it. I volunteer. I'll do it. I'm so excited. I want to leave now.
You have to figure out when you're driving to Alaska, and then that's when I'll take my Europe trip.
That's smart.
Yeah.
I wish you would just come on my Alaska trip with me.
Nope.
You would bury me in the Yukon if you had to spend 6 weeks in a row with me.
Oh, it would happen within the first 2 weeks.
No.
You'd be buried somewhere in middle Canada.
I think we'd be fine.
Everybody in this little town would be like, why is this cute dog standing over this mound?
No, that's rude. Oh, he can hear you. He's literally right next to me. He can hear you talking about murdering his mother in Western Canada. What's up? What's up?
Just drive him crazy, bury you with a squeak toy.
I know he's just standing over me. That would be so fucking eerie if somebody else drove along and they just found this dog going like next to a fucking mound. That's so scary. Josh should write that into one of his horror books.
You'll see it on Netflix.com.
I know, the fucking no budget ass. Because they could probably follow you too and do like a follow up, like a season 2 once you already have the puppy and shit. Like they can make so much content. They're gonna be 10K. Okay, stupid.
That's actually a lot for a whole episode of something.
Well, they're probably fucking getting a discount from the Viagen company. They're probably just doing it for 40K, and so you're getting nothing.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, just for them. They're probably, Viagen's just getting all the money or giving Netflix the money to be on the show. Whatever the fuck I'm saying. You know what I'm saying.
On average, to produce the pilot episode of a television show, not the whole show, but like the first episode, like is somewhere, if you're going to be on like ABC, NBC, CBS, or now let's say and or Netflix or Amazon Prime, the pilot episode is usually right now floats around like $3 to $6 million for the first episode.
That's fucking ridiculous.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, for what?
Writers, cameras, sound people, like
Not reality though.
on a reality show, you're probably still in the $1 million range.
That's stupid.
Because you got a showrunner, a producer, an executive producer. You got at least 2 sound people. You got at least 3 cameramen. You got to fly everybody to location, hotels, food, per diems. Like you'll spend $1 million on the first episode for a major show.
I guess I just have no concept of money because everything you just said sounds like it could get done for like 70 grand.
Yeah, I think Ghost Stalkers was like 600,000 an episode.
Oh my god,
It was crazy.
that is crazy for to go to an abandoned building with 2 dudes. That doesn't
Who
make
were
any
their
sense.
own cameramen.
Literally, no wardrobe, no makeup, no fucking anything. That doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense.
These people just like writing shit out and getting money from taxes for nothing.
Yeah, pretty much.
Stupid. We need to stop fucking complaining. This is a very complaining heavy episode right now.
That's fine.
We have to do some investigations for people that need our help because I know of 2 different things that we could go do. Our friend Kelsey said that she has a ghost in her fucking house, like specifically in her basement, who makes water, like makes her house flood no matter what she does. And they've had stuff fixed and there's a ghost there and he makes it flood. And then she said that she knows, a mutual friend of ours knows that guy who died, who used to live in their house's son. And like, I guess, I forget what the story is. Whatever.
So what you're telling me is Kelsey has a djinn in her house.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah,
Well, do you do water stuff?
she has a water djinn. They're elementals.
Can we go there and do some stuff?
Probably.
Let's do that.
Yeah, she either has like she has some kind of, if it's always, I mean, that's the thing. Like when I would get calls to Dearborn where they don't have ghosts, they have djinn because it's that religious belief system.
Yeah.
Like wind is always knocking stuff over at my house. Things in my house are always catching on fire. You know, I wake up and there's piles of dirt. My house is always flooded. Like those are signs that you have an elemental. You have like someone who's dealing in one of the 4 elements.
That's so interesting. That's like DJINN.
DJINN, yes. Jinn.
Jinn.
We're Anglo-Saxons, where we get genie from.
Weird. Yeah, we got to look into that. And then I have a client, one of my tattoo clients, who says she works at a business in downtown Royal Oak. And I don't know how fucking old the building is, but they have a ghost. And a lot of people that have worked there have been fucked with. And she wants us to go.
I've probably been in that building already. I've investigated most of the buildings in Royal Oak.
Will be neat if you never did this one. I'm obviously not going to say which one it is, but we should do both of those things. That would be really fun.
Okay.
Me. I bet those buildings have sketchy ass basements too.
Most of them do have sketchy ass basements.
Eek.
And I have been in many of them.
I have not. So I want to go look at it
and get scared.
and get scared.
You love the fucking bugs that are down in those tunnels.
No. I have the biggest spider that's been living on my back porch, and he makes a nest. He makes a web every night, and he's just growing. As he catches bugs every night, he's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Is it like an orb weaver?
I don't know. It's like stripey, kind of. It's fucking gross.
Might be an orb weaver.
Blech.
There's a lot of good bugs down in the basements of Royal Oak, though. Lots of shiny, slippery things and lots of long-legged kind of furry things.
Gross. Well, people need our help. We have become known. Obviously, you have always been, but now people think I'm a creeper too, so I gotta help. If people ask me for help, I feel like I gotta help.
You can eat Toad. You can bring Toad. He can eat all the bugs.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what we've been doing. That's our idea for so long, is just to look for ghosts with the dog. The fucking ghosty detective, whatever the fuck, with the dog.
Your brain is a disorganized shit pile.
I know. Like Ghostbusters, but just me and you and the dog is what I meant. What was I gonna say? We're going to Michigan Paracon this week. Well,
Next week.
I don't know when we have to leave.
I don't know either, because we might have to go early.
I know. So our next episode might be late as fuck. It probably is going to be late as fuck. So sorry. But then we have a lot to talk about after Paracon.
We do.
Don't say our Pates. We have a special present for high tier Pates. And I've been talking to people on Marco Polo, and it's so fun.
I still don't know what that is, but I trust you do, so you're fine.
You're going to learn, because I'm going to make you talk on it when we drive to Paracon. It's actually really fun. It's been making me not as weird about talking on camera. It just makes you very comfortable.
Well, I've never been weird about talking on camera.
Yeah, no, because you've been doing this forever.
I also just don't give a fuck.
I know. Do you too? Okay, you have your own lecture at Paracon, and then are you in Aaron Sager's panel thing?
I'm not in Aaron's panel. I don't know if I have my own lecture.
You don't?
I don't.
Yeah, you do. I already looked at the schedule. One of the days you're at like 1:30.
Okay, well then I have my own lecture.
Yeah, it's on either. Oh God, here we go. It's either on Friday or Saturday. I already looked at it.
They made that mistake once.
Didn't give you a lecture?
Yeah.
That must have been the easiest weekend of your life.
It was a very easy convention, but but then Tim and Brad were like, well, that was a mistake.
Yeah. Dude, everybody there would be so pissed. Demon, I see red flashing lights. There's like an ambulance or some shit outside. This is not good for us.
Well, we're close to being done.
Hang on. I gotta see if somebody crashed. What's happening? Oh, geez. All right. It's a tow truck, so they're gonna be here fucking forever. What else?
I need you to take me to some errands this week.
I know, I gotta do a couple things too. I gotta go to the post office.
I gotta go to the dry cleaner.
And you gotta go to Home Deeps.
Where did Toad say he had to go?
He said, "Woo! Woo!"
Amazing that the most intelligent animal on the planet, the human being, has still not figured out how to talk to a fucking dog.
Woo! I can talk to him. Woo! He looked at me. Toady! Get down! Get down! Get down! He just has like red flashing light on his face.
Thinks he's at a dance party.
There's a lot of commotion. Can I tell you a disgusting story that I heard on Mr. Ballin podcast?
You can, but it's going to be quick because I'm tired and I think.
Okay, it is going to be quick, but listen, because I didn't know this could happen. Okay.
Jessica tells the story.
Listen,
everyone's favorite segment.
Oh my God, I know. What did somebody else say this week too? People were saying shit about my saying that the rapture sounded amazing.
I'm gonna get you one of those like early morning zoo drops where it's like Jessica tells a story.
Okay, so there's a story that he tells on Mr. Ball. I forget when. I don't even.
Jesus Christ!
No,
it's already fucked.
Anyway, so he tells this story about this guy. I forget, I don't remember where, but he was working in a nuclear facility. This was in 1999. He was pouring uranium, got exposed to the most radiation in documented human history, which is 17 sieverts, I think is how you say it. Okay, so after that, he was in what's known as walking ghost phase, where you seem fine, but the radiation has destroyed all of your chromosomes. So from then on, like, you seem like you're fine, you look fine, you're in the fucking bed, the hospital bed, you can talk and shit. But from then on, since your chromosomes have been destroyed, your body has no blueprint to make new cells. So you just sit there, like, so everything starts dying off slow because you can't reproduce fucking anything. So doctors tested him and they found no white blood cells after. None. So eventually he just slowly fucking dies in this hospital. Eventually, he cried blood. Literally, all of his skin fell
Why
off.
are you telling this horrible story?
I don't know, because it's fucking crazy. I didn't
It's
know that
crazy,
something.
but like people come to this podcast to hear
Listen, no,
happiness,
no, they nope. They come to hear my
not become.
fucking
Listen, we
story.
were already talking about jelly bag babies earlier. I don't need to talk about jelly bag humans later on.
Listen, all of his skin fell off. Okay, from the date of him getting exposed to the uranium, he lasted 83 days and then he died. And in that time, basically, the whole body fell apart.
Yeah.
I think the fucking craziest thing you've ever heard. I didn't know that like something could happen to your body that would like blast, like basically break every system in your entire body, and then you would slowly just not be able to recover. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I mean, if you read about when the Manhattan Project and building the first atomic bomb and stuff, when they were doing those experiments, they had to, in essence, drop a radioactive filament through these magnets, and they would watch to see how much energy was generated. And there was one time, and it's just guys sitting around in a room watching this strip fall through this magnet. The problem is like if it touches the magnet, like there's immediate energy release that's not contained by the lead underneath the magnets. And so they dropped this filament. It landed on the magnet. A guy ran forward and pushed it off of the magnet in so it would drop down into the lead containment unit. And then he told everybody, like, okay, no one in this room move. And he got his blackboard and his slide rule, and he started doing measurements as to where the radiation would have gotten to. And he just walked around the room and told people, like, you're dead, you're dead, you're dead, I'm dead, that guy's dead, you'll still be alive, you're fine. Just by how far away they were from it. And then he was right. Like, they all eventually just, their insides just melted.
I feel like maybe he did that story too. Or there was another one like that where, like, I forget. But yeah, there was another one that was like had to do with distance, and that was like some of them survived and some of them didn't. But like you seem fine initially, and then just like your whole body fucking melts because it destroyed every like.
Yeah, it breaks you down at a
molecular
level. Yes.
Fucking wild.
What a great upbeat note to end on.
I know, but I meant, listen. I really wanted to say that for a long time because that one's fucking crazy. I don't know. I just like knowing weird shit, like different ways that like different things that have happened to humans and like shit to look out for. Like, oh, uranium, not for me.
No, uranium is no good.
Uranium, not for us.
Radioactivity, not good. Listen, I think I used to have 7 1950s Geiger counters in my house. I don't know why, but back in the day, that was one of the tools of a ghost hunter. You would go around and look for radioactivity. Like, so I had Geiger counters. But they were all these civil defense 1950s big yellow handheld Geiger counters. And when I realized that a Geiger counter works because it measures the atmosphere and then it's sampling the piece of uranium that's in the Geiger counter, I was like, oh, I have 6 pieces of fucking uranium in my house. I don't want these in my house anymore.
See, this is why I bring up my fucking off the wall stories, because you can always add to them. That's what I'm doing. I psychically know you're gonna have some weird ghosty shit to add on to what the fuck I said, and you did.
But I mean, it's small doses.
Yeah, well, maybe that explains why you're so fucking weird.
Maybe. I have radioactive marbles in the house.
Where?
Upstairs.
Why?
Because a lot of the marbles made in the 1950s were made from the slag glass from the atomic testing sites in the desert of America. They would go out there and chip out the giant pieces of glass where the sand had fused into glass because of the atomic explosions. They turn them into marbles and sell them to kids.
How do you know when you have a blast marble?
You can take a black light to an antique store, and if you see jars of marbles, put the black light on them and see which ones glow. That means they're filled with radiation.
Oh my God. How many do you have?
I don't know, probably 24.
What?
Yeah.
Get them out of there.
They're upstairs in the attic. They're far away. I can't touch them. I do have a couple watches that have radium in them, pocket watches, because radium was how you made watches glow in the dark back in the day.
What the fuck? I wonder what I have in my house that's not good.
I mean, we all have stuff in our house that's not good, but...
Yeah. My house turns 100 years old in 2 years. I'm sure everything in here is just melting my body.
I sent you that map of your house showing it was the part of Orson Starr's property 100 and some odd years ago.
I know. He was like, what? Was he like the richest guy in the city?
Probably the most famous guy at the time. He made cowbells.
Oh, cute. Damn, what if there's cowbells in my house?
If you go to Orson Star, like if you go to antique stores around Michigan and you look at giant old antique cowbells, they'll be stamped with Star on them.
Oh my god, I need one for my house.
You do.
But yeah, we figured out that my house is on his property. That's so cute. And that we theorized this whole time that my apple tree is probably so fucking old. So now I can't cut it down.
Yeah. Because right across the street from you, if you look on that map, it shows that there's a cider mill there and an apple
I
orchard.
know.
Yeah.
I gotta have like the only one left.
I'm sure I've seen other apple trees in your neighborhood.
I haven't.
I have.
Well, I walk the dog everywhere. I never had to step over apples like I have to in my stupid yard.
There's a huge apple tree in front of Gilda's house.
Oh. Okay, well, like, don't walk in there. You're not allowed to walk in there.
No, I mean down on the sidewalk.
There is?
Because the tree is so huge, like it drops apples all over the sidewalk. Yeah.
Okay, well, all I'm ever looking at is the fucking double-decker fucking birdhouse that they have, and I always look for baby birds, so maybe I didn't see the apples.
All right. That's fine.
Are we done?
You know what we have to do in the next episode, though?
What?
Plantreons.
Plantreons. We haven't done them in so long, bro.
I know. It's going to be a big list.
It is going to be a big list. We have a lot of new pates in the last week. We can't talk about our thing yet.
No, not yet.
Okay. But didn't we tell people on episode already to keep their calendar open on September 4th?
Yes.
Or did we say it in the Patreon?
No, we said it on the episode.
Okay, everybody keep September 4th open for a good time. For a good time call.
For a good time, call John. He'll spray your beehole.
John is making beehole spray. Ew, I called him John. Who the fuck is John?
Who is John?
Tennifer, the beekeeper.
There you go.
Okay, let's hang out soon.
Okay, take me to the dry cleaner.
Okay.
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 Okay, I'll talk to you later.
Okay, I'll talk to you later. Bye, friend.
Okay, bye.
Bye.